rise of a generation, the Gen Z protests in Kenya. In the heart of Nairobi, amidst the chaos of tear gas and gunfire, a new generation is rising. Young Kenyans determined to reclaim their rights and demand a future that reflects their hopes and aspirations. This is the story of their struggle, their resilience, and their unwavering commitment. Welcome to Warui Ignatius TV. Subscribe, like and share for future engagements. Support the channel Warui Ignatius TV. Details down there. The unrest in Kenya was ignited by a controversial finance bill proposed in May 2024. This bill sought to significantly increase taxes, including a staggering 16% VAT on essential items like bread, alongside various other burdensome taxes that affected everyday life. As the government insisted these measures were necessary to bolster public spending and manage a growing budget deficit, public anger began to simmer. What began as peaceful demonstrations on June 18th soon turned into a torrent of outrage. Citizens took to the streets, voicing their frustrations over rising living costs, soaring unemployment rates, and perceived government inefficacies. The protests were initially marked by a spirit of solidarity, drawing in thousands of people who were united in their demands for change and justice. However, by June 25th, the situation escalated dramatically. As tens of thousands gathered outside Parliament, some protesters stormed the building, leading to chaos. The police responded with extreme force, unleashing tear gas and live ammunition on unarmed demonstrators. Tragically, lives were lost, and the atmosphere turned deadly. Among the casualties was 12-year-old Kennedy Onyango, who was killed by a stray bullet. His death became a symbol of the tragic human cost of the unrest, igniting further outrage and calling attention to the violence inflicted upon peaceful protesters. The youth took to social media, sharing their grief and anger, and vowing to keep fighting for justice. Daniel Wambua, a student and activist, articulated the desperation felt by many in his generation. His words captured the sentiments of countless young people in Kenya who felt marginalized and unheard by the political elite. This sense of desperation was mirrored across the country, as youth organized leaderless movements that embraced inclusivity and unity, creating a space where everyone could express their grievances. Unlike past protests, which were often led by established political figures, this uprising was powered by a digital revolution. Young Kenyans leveraged social media platforms to mobilize support and disseminate information rapidly. The hashtag REJECTFINANCBILL 2024 became a rallying cry, amplifying their voices and connecting them with a global audience. Through social media, these activists highlighted their frustrations not just about the finance bill but about broader issues such as corruption, youth unemployment, and the extravagant lifestyles of the political elite. This digital mobilization allowed young people to transcend traditional political boundaries, uniting them in a common cause and bringing international attention to their plight. As the protests grew, the government faced a dilemma. President Ruto, initially dismissive of the unrest, soon realized the scale of the discontent. On June 26th, he made a significant announcement, pledging to withdraw the finance bill and implement austerity measures to address the budget deficit. This marked a notable shift in the government's approach, acknowledging the demands of the youth. However, despite these concessions, many young Kenyans remained skeptical. The violence and heavy-handed policing persisted, with reports of police brutality against demonstrators. The tragic death of protester Rex Masai exemplified the dangers activists faced. Investigations into police actions during this tumultuous period were complicated by fear and a culture of silence, leaving many victims seeking justice without support. Amidst the chaos, the protests fostered a sense of community among young people. Grassroots organizations sprang up, focusing on providing legal aid for arrested demonstrators and offering support to victims of police violence. The Law Society of Kenya established a legal fund to assist those targeted by the state, emphasizing the need for justice and accountability. The solidarity witnessed during this time was palpable. Young people from various backgrounds united to share resources, knowledge, and experiences. They recognized that their fight was not just for immediate reforms, but for a future where their voices would be heard in the corridors of power. This communal spirit transformed individual struggles into a collective mission for change. As the protests subsided in July and August, the underlying economic challenges persisted. Ruto's cabinet reshuffle and the withdrawal of the finance bill seemed to temporarily appease some frustrations, but the budget deficit remained a pressing concern. Many anticipated that, as living costs continued to rise, dissatisfaction among the populace would reignite protests. The alliance, although strategic, faced criticism from within both parties, revealing fractures in the political landscape. Some members felt that their leaders had compromised too much, while others believed that genuine change was still possible. The challenges ahead would require a delicate balance between addressing the immediate concerns of the populace and navigating internal party dynamics. The summer of unrest served as a pivotal moment for Kenya's youth. They learned invaluable lessons in activism, organization, and the power of collective action. This experience galvanized them, transforming a generation of observers into active participants in the quest for accountability and reform. While protests may have diminished, the underlying issues remain unresolved. The voices of young Kenyans are not silenced, they have merely evolved. This generation is armed with new strategies, ready to mobilize at a moment's notice and demand change. As Kenya navigates its complex political landscape, the resilience and determination of its youth will play a crucial role in shaping the future. They have proven that they are not just passive observers, but active participants in the quest for a better tomorrow. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Produced by Warui Ignatius TV. Special thanks to all young activists fighting for change in Kenya. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and share for future engagements. Support the channel Warui Ignatius TV, details down there.